Hello, my lovelies. My name is Lovely Leckakay, and welcome back to Speed Dating for Ghosts. In the last episode, we went into the Room of Palms and dated Riley, Vera, and Seth. If you haven't seen that episode, make sure you stop, pause this video right now, go watch episode 2, and then come back to this one, because now we are in the Room of Black, and we are going to see what 3 ghosties are hiding in here. The Room of Black isn't really a room at all. It's more of a garden courtyard. The sun beats down on you as you squint to see what's growing. Rows upon rows of yellow and brown plants, dying and rotting in the sun. What fruit these plants produce shriveled on the vine. But there's a peace to this place. The crickets are chirping, and well beyond this garden, a train passes. You sit at a table opposite an empty chair. Oh, look at that pretty cyan background. The bell rings and a ghost appears. Oh, I see you, Mr. Edgelord. Or Miss Edgelord. I'm not going to assume genders. Oh, I'm a ghost. Ooh. So they're just joking around with us. Woo! LOL. This is like a young teenager probably, so I don't even know what a teenager voice would be, just a regular one. Wait. LOL. Oh, lol. Isn't it great being dead? It is pretty neat. I'd rather be alive. It is pretty neat. Right? Being dead is the best way to live. I'm Drea. I'm, like, dead, obviously. Nice to meet you, Drea. I'm also, like, dead. Go figure. Let's be dead together. What do you do for fun? I haunt places. Like, actually scare people? Nothing too mean. Just, like, flicker lights on and off, move stuff around so it floats, push people down stairs. You know, ghost stuff. Fun. Wow, she got really dark with the push people downstairs portion. Holy crap. Wait, you push people downstairs? LOL. I don't actually. I was just pulling your leg, or whatever it is that you've got. Drea looks around. Man, look at this place. Only ghosts would think a rotting garden is a good place to pick up. And yet you're here. What's with Antler Ghost? Well, yeah, I'm here. Ever tried dating ghosts in the wild? They all just contort and wail, and not in the good way. What are you into? My ex was a nightmare. Boobies. Drea snorts a little. No, but seriously, I've gone out with all kinds. Pretty girls in dresses who carry their own heads, a shadow who refused to let me look directly at him. Being dead is great. It's the other dead people that kill me. Blunt. I'm still not used to any of this. Where? I could use one. Just kidding. Pot does nothing now. Holy, does it do nothing. Getting messed up is the only thing I miss about living. When I was alive, I loved jokes about dying. Life sucked. Jerks everywhere, never enough money. The jerks got the money. I'd be all, the best way to die is now, before death does me in. It should at least buy me dinner. Jokes, you know? But now that I am dead, it just feels right. Like maybe it was meant to be, which I guess makes sense since we all die in junk. The bell rings. Antler goes to ring that bell thing. That means we change places. See you in a bit. I'm glad I picked that voice for her. I thought it looked more feminine, but I didn't want to assume genders, but it worked out in the end. Another ghost appears with this light pink background. Aw, looks like a pretty old grandma. Oh, hello there, dearie. I'm Hattie. You'll have to forgive me. I'm a little shy. It's just so nice to get out of the home to see a new face. The home? I like your face, too. You're too kind. My looks aren't what they were. Guess when you get old, you look it. Even after you go, I haunt the old folks' home, where I die. Queen Mary's. It's not a nice place to live, let alone die. Few nursing homes are. They treated you poorly? I wouldn't say poorly. The nurses did their best, but they are short-staffed. The residents are frequently neglected. To make Queen Mary's a little better, that is my mission in death. How do you help? You could haunt anywhere, though. How do you help? Any way I can. I keep watch on vitals. Ring a nurse when needed. Tuck residents in at night. In their final moments, I whisper in their ears, there is more, I say, just you wait. That's so nice. I never thought death would be like this. As ghosts, we have power over the living, whether they know it or not. We ought to use that power for good. I agree. That's really nice. Hattie's the kind of ghost I want to be when I die. Not that you're dead. What do you do with your time? I help people too. I play tricks on people. I'm still figuring that out. I help people too. When I was little, my father sent me to the Bible study. They told us about heaven, eternal happiness, all that. I remember telling the priest, that sounds so selfish. What about everyone else? I'm not sure this is heaven. Hell is other people. I'm not sure this is heaven. No, it's not. But it's better than nothing. The bell rings. Oh, I guess that's our time. I suppose I will see you again when I come back around. Thank you for the talk. Bye, Hattie. In your cute whistling S's, another ghost appears. Oh, dear Jesus Christ, what is that? That is the ugliest and scariest ghost of this entire game. The ghost says nothing and only stares. Do we stare back? The ghost's eyes narrow. Narrow your eyes. The ghost opens their mouth wider. The sides begin to crack and tear. Inside smells foul, musty and sour like rotting peaches. The ghost lets out a guttural cry, low and lonely. The only ghosts in the room are all looking at you. Please no more. Are you okay? Stand your ground. I'm gonna stand my ground. I'm gonna open my mouth and break it open and go at him with this, like, scare-off we're having.
You are not like the others.
I could say the same about you. The others are in denial.
I am a vengeful spirit, not unique among ghosts, but perhaps among these ghosts.
What brings vengeance to speed dating? You're still welcome here.
I was more. I was a man, an accountant, Gary. That name sounds wrong now, silly, common. Gary liked the patter of rain, baseball games, and decaffeinated tea.
What happened to Gary? The ghost's eye. Oh, that's not the voice. The ghost's eyes grow wide. He breathes in deeply, remembering something horrible. What's wrong?
The knife. I still feel the blade.
So he was murdered?
The life draining out. Emptied. An empty space. Where once there was something. Now cobwebs. A draft.
Who killed you?
I do not remember. Can you help me remember?
The bell rings. Your time with Gary ends before you have a chance to answer. I would love to help him remember if I could. Perhaps if you get to know Gary a little better, you can help him. Help him remember how he died. It's one way to spend an evening. Yeah, and that would be something Hattie would enjoy because, again, we'd be helping people. Everybody's so flipping gloomy here. I keep thinking, who died? Everyone died. We could liven it up. Oh man, okay. Like a prank? Or maybe we could try to scare the other ghosts who haunts the haunters or something. They seem hard to spook. We could make something float. Make something float? That's all you got? Man, we should just go haunting. Freak out some flesh bags. Give them something to be afraid of. I'd like that. Cool. I don't meet a lot of ghosts like you. Nice ones, I mean. Usually I pal around with other poltergeists. What's wrong with poltergeists? So you like that I'm nice? Nothing at all. Poltergeists are the best. It's pretty much just like the movie. One time I even tried to suck a girl into a TV. The glass got in the way. Kinda messy, actually. Did she die? Nah, I was kidding. I'm not like that. My friends, though, way more intense about the ghost stuff. My friend Beck likes to make corpses wink. At morticians. Open casket funerals. Allison haunts an airport hotel. Guess she likes to watch weird people doing things. Watch weird people doing it. I just hang out. Go to shows, terrorize this normie couple I know. Rich types who moved into my old house. They actually put up a plaque that says live, laugh, love. Blech. So you're bored. How do you terrorize the normies? Possession is fun. When they're asleep, I make the girl sit up in bed and point at the corner in the dark. The guy wakes up, sees what she's pointing at, and freaks out. It wakes her up and she freaks out too. It's great. Sometimes, other times, I want to meet ghosts who aren't like me. I'm sick of doing the same things, but then I actually remember I like doing those things. I really just want to share them with someone new. I know I probably sound pathetic. The bell rings. Already? This was okay. Come find me after. We'll do something. What exactly do you have in mind? I'm up for anything. Good. There we go. We got Drea on the horn. Now is Hattie. Oh, Hattie, I love you so much.
Hello again, dear. How is the speed dating going? Is it everything you hoped it would be?
You're my favorite so far. There are some weirdos here. It's just depressing me. You're my favorite so far.
There's no need for flattery.
Aww.
We've already getting along fine. There's something different about you. A light. I can literally see it glowing in there. In your guts. Just don't let it go to your head. Dying has shown me there's still a lot to learn. Always something new worth knowing.
Hattie looks at the garden rotting around you.
Do you like gardening?
I love gardening.
I never much cared for flowers. They're beautiful, but they sure don't last. Vegetables are where it's at. I love ones that grow like the dickens. Squash, snap peas, spaghetti squash vines are thick and sharp. They will choke other plants if you're not careful.
How about spinach? I like tomatoes.
Tomatoes are finicky plants. They need water to survive, of course, but too much and they'll start to get sick. Now that we're ghosts, I know we don't need to eat. I still like to grow food, help something and live, you know.
The bell rings.
Oh, there's the bell. I'm due at the nursing home tomorrow. I'd be honored if you joined me. It's not as exciting as a date as other ghosts might offer, but it has its rewards. Someone dear to me is taking a turn for the worse. I'm afraid he only has a few days left. I want to make sure he knows that he won't be his last.
That sounds wonderful.
I'm pleased that you agree. I'll meet you at Queen Mary's at 7 a.m. Sorry if that's a little early. I'm my best self before noon.
Aw. Hattie floats over to the next table. She looks back and smiles. Aw. Alright, here's Gary. We're gonna help him also remember.
How did you die?
Hello again to you too. Let's focus on you for now. Let's focus on you for now.
That is fair.
Also, that's a lazy developer move because they don't want to try and write into the game how it is that your main character died, or let you choose your own backstory, which is dumb. But I'll let that be an aside for now. That's if the future developers let the player choose how their own character died.
I only recall slivers of my last moments alive. Emotions. Work. A shadow along the wall.
I'm gonna see if I can, press the spacebar to keep it going while keeping my hands over my mouth to make it go faster.
I know these memories are important. I do not know how they fit together.
Tell me about work, tell me about the shadow, tell me about the emotions. Tell me about the emotions.
There was anger, frustration, guilt. Now all I long for is revenge.
Okay.
It pumps through me like blood. But how can I need revenge when I don't know what happened? When I don't know who is to blame?
You mentioned a shadow.
The shadow was long, dark.
And handsome. Tall, dark, and handsome.
But familiar.
Okay.
It crept along the wall. It crept through the office as we worked at night. It came for me. It has a name. Oh, why can't I remember its name?
Gary's eyes looked so threatening when you first met him. Now they look sort of sad. Maybe we should go to your old office.
I haven't been back. As much as there's something drawing me to that place, there's more pushing me away.
I'll be by your side.
Sentimental. And yet, knowing I will not do this alone, it helps. I still feel the blade, the life draining out. Join me after the final bell. Together, we will discover why.
Okay. The bell rings. Gary left a strange transit map behind him, routes you've never seen. A certain stop is circled. Well, that would be his old office. Choose your date. Obviously, we're going to do Hattie first. Then we'll do Drea. Then we'll save Gary for last, because I think Gary's the most interesting. But Hattie is absolutely my favorite. You arrive at Queen Mary's to meet Hattie for your date. It's 7:04 a.m. You're a little late. Looking around, this could be any nursing home. Yellowed walls, stained drop ceilings, supply carts in the corridors alongside the old, empty IV stand. The sun's not quite up, but the residents sure are. Walking the halls to get a bit of exercise, chatting over weak decaf in the dining room next to reception.
You came!
Aww.
Welcome to Queen Mary's, my home. What do you think?
It's nice. It's sad. It's nice.
Isn't it, though? I just love it here. There are so many people, or these are my people.
Behind Hattie, an old woman hangs up the lobby phone. The woman begins to cry.
Her son probably making more excuses not to visit.
Couldn't we do anything? Do I have to sign in?
Not unless you possess her son and march his sorry butt down here.
Hattie laughs.
Please don't actually do that. It won't help. Besides, there's someone I want you to meet.
Hattie floats off down the left corridor. All these corridors look the same, but she knows exactly where she's going. You pass a number of open doors, glancing inside. Some residents watch TV from their beds. Others just stare out their windows or at the walls. Most rooms are bare, a few are decorated. There are tall plants, fine wood furniture. In one room, you spot a record collection. Essential possessions transplanted to make this place feel more like home. At this far end of a long hall, Hattie stops and turns to you.
So, I know this is probably obvious, but we're here to see Milton. He was my partner for 47 years. If you think I'm a firecracker, Milton's all sparks. You'll like him, I think. He's been doing worse lately.
Is he sick? How can I help?
I've been spending a lot of time here. It has him concerned. Milton says I'm hanging on to the past. He wants me to make friends who are more like me. Ghosts, he means. I wanted to show him that I met a good one. I want him to meet you. It will make him so happy.
Hattie turns to go into Milton's room. Aw.
Good morning, Millie.
Inside is an empty bed, neatly made. Milton is gone.
Oh, no.
Hattie frantically searches the room. She spots the chart on the foot of the bed.
This says he had an aneurysm. He was taken to the hospital.
She looks at you with fear in her eyes.
I have to go.
I understand. I can come with you.
I like that. I know it's a lot to ask, but I'm scared to do this alone.
Don't worry, Hattie. I have your back. Let's go visit Millie. You arrive at the hospital with Hattie. She floats behind the reception counter to locate Milton's room. Second floor, intensive care. Milton's room is dim. A reedy old man with a thick mustache lies in the bed, motionless. It's quiet except for the steady whoosh and click of a machine by his side. A ventilator connected to a tube run down his throat. The machine is breathing for him.
Oh, no, Milton?
She looks around as if he might have already left his body.
They were supposed to let him go.
Hattie looks at Milton's chart.
It says he was found unresponsive. No signs of brain activity, but I still feel his presence. Don't you?
I feel it.
But where is he? Is he lost somewhere? Is he trapped in there? Oh, Milton. His sister has power of attorney. He didn't want this. He signed a form that said do not resuscitate. He didn't want this.
Hattie looks up.
I'm sorry I dragged you here. I know this must be quite awkward. If you don't mind, I'd like to be alone with Milton now.
I understand.
Thank you for understanding.
As you step into the hall to leave, you can hear Hattie saying something at Milton's bedside.
There's so much more, my love. Just you wait.
Aww. That's a really sad ending for Hattie. So, Milton is just stuck on a resuscitation bed and with a lung breathing for him, so he's stuck. There's no brain activity, but he's trapped in his body. He can't move on to the afterlife to become a ghost with with Hattie, or even just go on to the next plane of existence beyond ghost, if there is one, because he's being kept in the mortal plane, trapped in his body. That is so sad. Oh my god. Aw. Oh, Hattie and Milton. That's so cute. Spirit of Compassion. Years alive, 1922 to 2010. Cause of death, heart failure. Throughout her long life, Hattie has always put others first. Though she never had any kids of her own, she worked for more than 40 years at an elementary school librarian before retiring to a life of gardening and jam making alongside her longtime partner, Milton. After Hattie took a hard fall, she and Milton were both accepted into Queen Mary's nursing home, where Hattie lived out her final days helping her fellow residents any way she could. Aww. And it says Milton next to it, so that makes me think that maybe her partner Milton didn't have to suffer long, and maybe she unplugged the machine for him and let his spirit move on, so because she didn't want to see him suffer. So I'm going to assume that she unplugged life support on Milton so that he could finally pass on to the afterlife with her. Alright, now let's go hang out with Drea and see what's going on with her dates. You ready? Yeah, you're ready. Drea has something planned, that's for sure. This is gonna be sweet. Drea takes you to a house in the city. A duplex, brick. Not a bad looking place, maybe a little run down. It's clearly had some renovations though. Like the neighborhood, its edges have been filed off in favor of some good old-fashioned gentrification. The front door is a fresh shade of red, and there's a pretty nice car in the driveway. My place when I was just another flesh bag. Really? It looks nice. When I was here, it was way better. There was a pawn shop over there, where that garbage Java Joy Joy is now. They always had good tapes. Now it's just coffee. Everyone just drinks coffee and does yoga. Whatever, come on, let's go inside. From the inside, the house looks like a show home. Perfectly decorated rooms with perfectly placed furniture. Everything matches because almost everything is white or gray. They get cleaners, pay them like nothing, and complain when they don't wash the walls. Ceramic letters hang on a yellow accent wall. Live, laugh, love. This is the garbage I'm talking about. Live, laugh, love, spew, barf, puke. Drea starts to rearrange the letters. Evil. Oh man. Ghoul. And then that leaves. Live. What does that spell? Vale. Does evil ghoul vale mean anything? Vale means valley. Get rid of vale. What about leave? Evil ghoul leave. Oh, what? Like leave without the E? Perfect. They take a step back to survey their handiwork. Evil ghoul leave. Hello. So, where should we hit next? The kitchen? Getting creative, huh? Plenty of fun in there. The kitchen looks like it was recently updated. Built-in microwave, induction cooktop, something called a smart fridge. What do they even do to afford all this? Drea heads for the fridge. This is what I call poltergeist pay dirt. Inside the fridge is the biggest plastic container of kale you've ever seen, and rows of expensive-looking juice marked cleanse. Oh god, it's these kinds of people. I can't choose. The juice, the kale, obviously the juice. Look at all these pretty colors. Green, yellow, red. Drea thinks for a moment. Slime, pee, blood. Just like that, the juices look different. Don't worry. They'll just taste like those things. Somehow, that's hard to believe. I mean, where would I even get blood? There's a click at the front door. Oh shiz, they're home! Quick, this way! Drea drags you to the front room just as the couple who lives here opens the front door. At first, they don't notice anything is wrong. They take off their shoes while bickering about who forgot to take out the garbage. The man is the first to see the letters on the wall. He stops talking. She looks up to see why. He points to the letters rearranged on the wall, and they proceed to freak the fudge out. They run away, not up the door, up the stairs straight to the bedroom. Ah, man, after all that work, I knew we should have gone to the bedroom. I guess they weren't gonna run straight to the fridge anyway. This was still super good. Best time I've had in forever. Maybe I'll see you around sometime. Absolutely. Totally. We're gonna do that again. You're left alone in Drea's house. Upstairs, the couple is loudly trying to convince the cops they called that ghouls are real. Eventually, they give up and admit it was probably just neighborhood punks. You leave the house through a wall. Outside is dusk and kind of spooky. There's a bit of fog rolling in. A nice night for a haunting. A good night to be a ghost. We're gonna do Drea's again, and we're gonna go to the bedroom and see if we can get an even more interesting ending with her. Because if they're gonna run straight up to the bedroom, then maybe we can do something in the bedroom to freak them out more and maybe make them leave the house entirely, and that would make Drea extremely happy. So, let's do that again. Oh, I've already done that date. So, I have to, visit the graveyard and, do Drea again? Yeah, okay. So let me replay the date, and then we'll go back and read her entire thing. Okay. So, we're gonna do the exact same thing that we did last time. And then, it looks nice, blah blah blah. We're gonna pick the same options, but go to the bedroom. That way, we can see what happens. I'm predicting that by going to the bedroom, we're going to be able to completely freak the couple out and make them want to leave the house, which will proceed to make Drea exceedingly happy, which I think would be really, really cool to see. There we go, and then she's going to ask us to go to the bedroom, but not for the fun time you think. Ooh, good call. The bedroom is something. A king-size bed with 8-foot mahogany posts, a painted carving of a butler at the door with a tray for keys, a cream blanket with colorful stripes that harkens back to the fur trade, wicker everywhere. Where do we even start? The butler, the bed. Ooh, let's start with the butler. Deal. Drea concentrates on the carved butler. His wooden face starts to contort. What was an uppity smirk is now a fanged grin. His brown eyes turn bright yellow. It's pretty scary, trust me. I was just too lazy as a developer to put the art in to show you. Drea places their art on the bed to make sure everyone sees it. There. Now, all that's left to do is... There's a click at the front door. Oh shiz, they're home! Quick, this way! Drea drags you to the front room just as the couple who lives here opens the front door. At first they don't notice anything, then they see the letters on the wall, freak the fudge out, go up to the bedroom. Yes, they went to the bedroom! Drea looks at their wrist. There's no watch, but they pretend there is. Wait for it. You hear panicked whispers behind the door. A little longer. Eee! Tanner, that is it. I can't take it anymore. Oh, that's Drea's voice. Tanner, that is it. I can't take it anymore. We are moving out now. Yes! Oh man, this was the best date ever. Sometime tomorrow at the Java Joy Joy. Same time tomorrow at the Java Joy Joy. I'm there. Rad. Aww. So we were able to give Drea exactly what she wanted, which was to have them leave so that she could have the house back to herself. Aw, that's cute. So now we're gonna go see what Drea's thing is. So she's the spirit of mischief from 1972 to 1994. Cause of death unknown. Oh, weird. In life, Drea had a way of getting on the wrong side of authority. Parents, teachers, cops, few dared to tell Drea what to do, and those who tried always ended up regretting it. After Drea was kicked out of the house at 14, they spent the rest of their teens couch surfing or living on the streets. Spotty work, door checking, and carrying equipment at punk gigs paid for Drea's more expensive habits, and plenty of good times. But things got bad towards the end. Now, poltergeist, Drea prefers not to talk about those final moments of life and focus on making the best of death. AKA, it's not unknown, she overdosed on drugs and died. So, there you go. She overdosed on drugs. And now, we get to go help Gary try and remember who his tormentor was, who killed him, who murdered him, and hopefully get him to a better place. Then, we can see if we can date Fran, because there's 10 gravestones there, and only 9 people in these rooms. I think we're going to be able to date her. You arrive at the bus stop where Gary asked to meet. The last bus went by hours ago. Still, there are other ghosts waiting for something. One natters to herself like a squirrel. Another is on the ground, arms around his knees, rocking back and forth. The third ghost has his back turned, staring silently into the darkness. It's Gary. Oh, he has the little bow tie on. He's wearing a bow tie.
I wore a bow tie.
You look nice.
I wished to look respectable. One must look respectable when meeting one's end, even for the second time. Also, I thought you would like it.
Aw, I love it. Gary smiles. Look at that cute little smile on his face. Briefly.
We are going to the place where I died. The office where I worked as an accountant. Under the tracks, where the trains grind and the walls shake. The dead end of a crooked drive.
Sounds spooky. How sad.
At first, the noise made it difficult to walk. The rumbling shook the numbers out of my head. We grew accustomed to it over time. Now I even miss it sometimes.
A dim, purple light washes over Gary's face.
The dead of night bus has arrived.
This bus is not sanctioned by any city. Its driver is a fragment of a broken spirit, trained to perform repetitive tasks. You and the other ghosts get on the bus. There is no fare. You've all paid the price. Aw, he's smiling again.
The office is just as I remember it. I sat in that corner. Accounting is not thrilling work, but it can be exceptionally busy.
The papers on Gary's old desk are carefully stacked. It seems he liked to keep things orderly.
My partner's here, always a mess.
Papers are rotting, and rotting food cover every inch of this other desk.
Service.
Beg your pardon? What about your service?
Not my service. Service was my partner. Service Gelk.
Funny name. What was he like?
I worked with the man for 16 years. At first, for a bank, we were miserable, so we struck out on our own.
Gary sits at Service's desk. He turns on the desk lamp to get a better look at the papers. He was a friend? You'd make a good partner.
He was a thief.
Oh! Interesting. The green and gold lamp collecting dust on Service's desk casts a long shadow. The shadow begins to move. It creeps along the wall until it hangs squarely over Gary.
He was telling our clients they owed money. Money they did not owe. He would pocket it for himself. Small amounts so I would not notice, but even small numbers do not add up.
Gary struggles to stand. He seems troubled by something.
When I confronted him, there was a fight.
In this room?
Yes. I killed him. Oh God, I still feel the blade, the knife in my hand. I looked for gloves, bleach. I found them, but I could not hide what I'd done. Instead, I called the police. Sitting quietly in the dark, I waited for them to arrive. When the officers knocked on the door, I was so scared. They warned me, but I couldn't let go of the weapon, frozen in place right there in our office. They shot me where I stood. I died here, same as Service.
Holy cow. At least you know. You didn't mean to. You're a monster. That's not the right response. You didn't mean to. At least you know. I don't think he meant... Yeah, you didn't mean to.
But I did mean to do it. I acted with a clear head. I was not forced. I must carry this burden, atone for my act. I take comfort knowing Service is out there somewhere, perhaps seeking his own vengeance. I suppose it is only right that I give it to him.
So when he said the blade in his hand, he meant his own blade. That was a really cool twist, developers. I like that. The office is darker now. On the wall, you see a portrait, two smiling men. Service and Gary, the day they opened their firm. The office begins to shake as the first train of the day rolls by overhead, but the picture stays fixed to the wall. Oh. Interesting. I wonder if we go and visit Gary again, if we'll be able to get a better ending with him. Hey, hi! Oh, I'm sorry. The event's all done. All the other ghosts have left. Oh, she's on the other side of the table now. From what I hear, you were pretty popular. Still couldn't find the one, huh? Sadly, no. I like to play the field. Sadly, no. That's okay. There are always more ghosts. People die pretty much all the time. Did you have fun at least? It was a blast. Glad to hear it. I've been having some fun just observing. I set this up to help other ghosts find something they might be missing, or to learn more about themselves. In a way, we're all products of death. I like to think I'm also her student. What have you learned? I've learned so much. How burial versus cremation affects the afterlife, the meaning of life, all kinds of neat ghost trivia. When I was alive, I studied people. Now that I'm dead, I study us. It's fascinating. I love trivia. What was that about burial? You know the meaning of life. You don't want to know about that, do you? Let's just play trivia. But I do want to know. But I want to know about trivia. Excellent. I have questions prepared and everything. I see you, Fran. Moving on to what you actually want to talk about, that slick one. Welcome to Fran's Scary Heart Trivia Challenge! All the questions are ghost related. Don't worry if you get any wrong. I'm not testing you or anything. Question 1. 1. Which film star is said to haunt the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel in Los Angeles, California? Isn't it Marilyn Monroe? And the answer is Marilyn Monroe. You got it. Marilyn actually lived in the hotel for about 2 years. Now she haunts it. Pretty cool, huh? Question 2. Which Shakespearean king appears as a ghost in a play that shares his name? No, not Hamlet, King Lear, Richard III? That answer is actually Hamlet. This was a tricky one. Hamlet's father appears as a ghost. His name was technically also Hamlet. King Hamlet. Oh, okay. There are the ghosts of kings in Richard III, but not Richard III himself. Question 3. A red blood cell that has lost its hemoglobin is known as what? It's known as a phantom, isn't it? It's actually ghost. The simplest answer is usually right. That's my motto. Ghost red blood cells are empty shells. They show up on microscopes, but they're pretty much see-through, just like us. Question 4. I didn't know that. During her seances, what did medium Helen Duncan famously regurgitate and call ectoplasm? Lard, cheesecloth, baby food? Cheesecloth, lard, baby food. I get why you'd pick a goop, but the answer is actually cheesecloth. Duncan was a medium in the early 1900s. She was said to fake ectoplasm by pulling gross cheesecloth out of her mouth. Duncan was also the last person imprisoned for witchcraft in the UK. Go figure. And question 5, this is the last one. That means it's also the hardest. 5, which of these authors did not have a story in the first volume of the Fontana Book of Great Ghost Stories? Did not have a story? Edgar Allan Poe? The correct answer is Poe. You got it. Poe was in the second volume. Blackwood and Lawrence both have stories in the first. Blackwood was a prolific ghost story writer, while Lawrence, best known for not ghost stories, penned a great one called The Rocking Horse Winter. You got 2 questions right. That's not that bad. You could have done worse. I'm definitely not judging you. I had fun. I'd like to see your sources. What now? I had fun, and I'm glad to hear it. Oh, look at the time. I need to finish closing up. If you're looking for something to do, you can always visit the graveyard, relive some of their past dates there, or select erase data or date data to start over. That's in the options menu. What else? You could always go to hell. Excuse me? Same to you, Fran. I meant that literally, of course. I hear it's gorgeous this time of year. If you combine travel and accommodations, you can get a pretty good deal. My friend Gail is a travel agent. She could find you a great river cruise package. I'd like that. Here's Gail's card. If you end up going, be sure to send me a hologram. Alright, time to go. I'll ring the bell to make it official.
Can I actually contact Gail?
The bell rings. Thanks for playing.
I don't know why she would sniff. Interesting. So if I go to visit graveyard, Gary is there. Oh, and there's Fran's. Okay. Well, Gary, I want to see what happens if we are able to get a better ending with him, so I'll just skip to that. But I want to see Fran is the spirit of curiosity. Cause of death was a car crash. That's why her neck is tilted, because her neck probably snapped. Fran is the organizer of speed dating for ghosts. Her reasons for putting on an event like this are twofold. Fran is a woman of science, but also empathy. She's met as many miserable ghosts over the years and wanted to help them find companionship. She's also been studying the psychology of her fellow spirits for years, specifically the need for closure and desire for purpose that seems to tie otherwise disparate ghosts together. She aims to prove that they needn't rely on the living to achieve these goals. Ghosts, Fran posits, can instead find their answers in one another, and even within themselves. She also loves bad movies.
She lived from 1958 to 1984. Okay, so she was 26 years old when she died. Interesting. And what about Gary? He's the spirit of vengeance from 1961 to 2016. Gunshot wound to the chest. Gary worked hard to live a noble life. He saw money as the root of most problems, and his accounting practice is a way to help people live with a little less worry. While Gary kept a few friends, those who knew him cherished his honesty and quiet humor. A college roommate once affectionately described him as a bran muffin, hold the butter. After discovering his business partner was stealing from clients, Gary accidentally killed him and was shot by police responding to the scene. That's interesting because it says here that he accidentally killed his partner, but in the other one, he said that, no, I meant to do it, I acted, which he may not have actually acted to do if his friend, well, his partner, Service, actually had a weapon and was going to kill Gary. If he took it from Service and killed him instead, because if it was a me or you situation, then, I don't know. That's really interesting. Maybe if we do it this time, we'll be able to get him to be happier with us at the end if we choose the other one. So I'm just going to quickly go through this one. Let's say how sad this time.
At first,
Oh, I already said that one. It makes it difficult to work, blah, 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 blah. And then it's purple. I like that purple shade over him, though. I think it's nice. Aw, that tiny little smile. He doesn't have it on long, but it's really cute on him. Alright. What about your Service? What was he like? Funny name. What was he like? Funny name.
many people thought so. Strange I couldn't remember it until now. I worked with the man for 16 years.
I think this is all the same. Yeah. So it's just a tiny bit of different dialogue. Let's say you'd make a good partner.
I tried my best. I wish I could say the same for Service. He was a thief.
Alright, and now he's gonna click on the wall, the shadow's going to appear, and it's all gonna come out. In this room? Is that how you died?
No, it is how Service died. I killed him.
I still feel the blade, knife in my hand. Yep, there we go. I was so scared, and then the police shot me. They shot me where I stood. You're a monster? You didn't mean to? At least you know.
I am haunted by an act of vengeance.
Not the need for it.
I am sorry for bringing you here. I am sorry I am not good.
You're a good ghost, Gary. Don't be sorry. You're a good ghost, Gary.
I am not. But now that I know what I have done, I will carry it with me, atone. Perhaps then I will be good. A good ghost.
Gary is gone. The office is darker now. On the wall is the portraits, but it's fixed to the wall. Alright, I'm going to assume that that's what happens. If we go back to here, does Fran say anything to us? I just finished packing up. Oh yeah, she does! I just finished packing up. Thanks again for participating and for the talk. Guess our work here is done. Can I go on second dates? Guess our work here is done. Can I go on second dates? This was speed dating for ghosts. I don't have the resources for long-term relationships for ghosts. It'd be nice, but I'm just one Fran. I guess there's always fanfic. Oh, good idea. I love fanfic. It lets characters live on after they're gone. Sort of like ghosts, huh? Really makes you think. Anywho, I'd better finish up here. You still have a bunch of options. Pretty sure I said this before, but you can replay the dates in the graveyard or restart the game. Replay the whole date thing. See how your conversations could have gone. It'll be like we never met. I'm not ready for that. Then I guess this is goodbye. For now, anyway. It was nice meeting you. You're a heck of a ghost. No, let me date you, Fran. The ghosts have all left, even Fran. It's quiet now. So quiet. Go back to the start screen, restart the game. Back to the start screen, then. Oh, even Fran. Dang it! So, I would literally have to go through all the ghosts again to try and date Fran. That's so stupid. Well, I guess we don't get to go on a date with Fran, unfortunately. I wonder if you could have played that differently and then gotten to go on a date with her. But if you guys want to play this yourself, you have to pay for it. I think it was like $10. I don't think it's worth $10. So, maybe somebody else on YouTube has done it and gotten the Fran ending and uploaded it, feel free to go search for that. I probably will just out of sheer curiosity. But if you guys enjoyed this series, make sure to drop a like on the series down below right now, because this was really fun to do. I had a good time doing the characters' voices and talking and getting to know everybody pretty well. I thought that the characters were interesting. The way that it just kind of cut off on the vignettes were sudden. It makes you want to learn more about the ghosts, which it was speed dating, so you're not going to get a super in-depth conversation, but there were some character stories that felt more complete than others. Like, Kyo was pretty long, and that was a long date with him. Same with Leon's. But when you were on a date with, say, Hattie, it was really quick. Or a date with Steph, that was also extremely fast. So it felt like some were rushed, and I didn't quite like that. So all in all, this was an okay game. Thank you guys for sticking around with me through it all regardless. And if you have other suggestions for games you'd like to see me play, please write them in the comment section down below. I love having suggestions from you guys. And you can also drop suggestions in my Discord. The link to the Discord, of course, is in the description of the video down below. Make sure you go join that and talk to and communicate with me on there if you haven't already. But without taking up any more of y'all's time, I will go ahead and let you beautiful people go. Goodbye, my lovelies.
3, 2, 1, jump!